Hey, I'm Jason Smith. I'm from sunny California, living here in beautiful Beijing, and I want to talk to you about tourism. Who's going to win over the largest tourist base in the world? China's. Let's establish some facts so that we're all on the same page. As early as 2014, Chinese tourists already outspend all their global peers, according to Statista, the same year. By 2017, Chinese tourists were outspending the next two countries combined on global tourism. And again, according to Statista, by 2018, Chinese tourists spent nearly double, roughly double, their closest peer, the USA, on global tourism. The pandemic took a huge toll on global tourism among all countries, and all tourists and tourist locations were affected. According to the WTO from 2019, compared to 2020, there was a drop between 69% and 84% of tourism, effectively wiping away much of the industry. And $2 trillion was shaved off the global economy, specifically from tourism. LVMH, which controls Dior and Louis Vuitton, among other major luxury brands, recently cheered the spectacular return of Chinese tourists, according to an article by the same name on January 27th, 2023 on CNN. From the article, CEO Bernard Arnault said that various stores in France are ready to welcome Chinese shoppers and that Chinese tourists would not return in large numbers until at least the second half of the year. According to various sources, China's economy will grow by 4.1 to 5.4% in 2023. This is Morgan Stanley, The Economist, Schroeder, OECD, Goldman Sachs, Deutsche Bank, IMF, JP Morgan, World Bank, and Fitch. Serious people. So if you hear folks say, oh, China's economy isn't growing or isn't going to grow that much, well, everyone who is a serious economist thinks that it is and that it will. Tourism is already rebounding in China, the world's fastest growing major economy. I was among them. I live here in China, as mentioned before, and I traveled from Beijing to Shandong and back to visit my Chinese in-laws, along with 2.1 billion other people who traveled just during the Spring Festival holiday. That's Chinese New Year, which is almost pre-pandemic levels. And again, economists are predicting that by Q3 and Q4, the second half of the year, H2, that all of this tourism will be back at pre-pandemic levels. According to most experts, Chinese global tourism will be ready to set new record heights. Now, the question: where will they go? Whose economy will benefit? Chinese folks are globally aware. Chinese tourists are likely to travel to places where they feel welcome. My personal opinion is that many Chinese folks are going to remember the diatribes which bellowed from national leaders and media around the world these last couple of years. Which means hundreds of billions of dollars, possibly as much as $1 trillion or even more, will flow into the economies of nations which have maintained a mutually respectful attitude of win-win oriented friendship with and towards the nation of China and its people. The takeaway: are the leaders in government and media in your country articulating their positions from a point of mutual respect? Or have they been pointing fingers and blaming other nations for their own problems? Have they been busy sabotaging your nation's chance at the biggest rebound in tourism in world history? I'll leave it to you to decide. See you next time.